Hello, everyone. Let's see.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Diane. I'm Ayelet Safta.
Hi,
And,
nice to meet
I'm-
you.
I'm here in Israel, and we have two others who are, one just arrived and one other who lives here. Susan lives here in Tel Aviv. And Sheila Gersh, what do I always say? Gersh is basically the chairperson, so she is going to run this meeting. And,
Okay.
You can run it, Diane.
oh, I could do it?
Yeah,
Okay.
feel free, sure.
Free. Okay, so anyway, I asked Elisa to tell us just something for a few seconds about her, just so we feel kind of connected. And she told me that she made Aliyah with her family when she was 14 from Teaneck, New Jersey, and they live in Harno. And that's all she said, except that she works at Hatzalah.
Where in Teaneck? I'm from Teaneck. Where were you from in
We're
Teaneck?
originally from the Westgate Apartments, and then we moved over to Bergenfield.
What synagogue?
Beth Abraham.
Okay. Very from synagogue.
Where are
Beth
you from
Shalom.
in Teaneck?
Beth Shalom, West Englewood.
Very nice.
Okay, so everyone here is part of a group called, they all have children who made Aliyah.
Okay.
And a number of them are trying to get to Israel so they can be, especially in time, not only to see grandchildren, but some even to see some of them born. So I think we'll just, Sheila, why don't you be the one to recognize people to let them ask their questions? And did you want to present a little something first, Elisa?
I could give over some basic information, and that might help people before they even ask their questions.
Okay.
So this way, everyone can just understand how it works, if that's okay with everyone.
Okay.
Okay, so when you're flying to Israel, you'll have, in the airport, you get a PCR test, and those results have nothing to do with United Hatzalah, but you get them almost right away, within, I would say, anywhere between 12 hours or so. A PCR test is basically a COVID test, so just to make sure that you don't have COVID. Now, to get out of quarantine, when you come to Israel, you have to take a serological test. By us, there's two options. We have two centers. We have a center in Bnei Brak, and then we have a center in Jerusalem that you could come to, or the third option is a home test. Those usually, the answers usually take anywhere between 24 hours to 36 hours to get the results and for them to be put through to Misrad Habriya for you to be able to get out of quarantine. There are times where they do get in earlier. However, I can't promise that it will take less than 24 hours. And then to fly back, obviously 72 hours before you fly back, you have to take another PCR test to be able to board the flight.
Excuse me. I have a question. Is Hatzalah the only one that gives these tests, or are there other places that do as well?
No, there are other places.
Because you get places that are, Bnei Brak is like super Orthodox and Jerusalem is Jerusalem. A lot of people here aren't going to those places. I would assume someone must have something closer to Tel Aviv or to the south. I don't know who.
So if someone needs a specific area, we could come and do a home test. There are options for home tests. If someone is going to another area, I'm happy if they want to send me an email before they come, and I could look into something a little closer. I don't have an actual list of all the places that give these tests. I'm happy to be in contact through email or WhatsApp. If someone knows of a date that they plan on coming in an area, I could try to look into something closer for them.
Could you put that WhatsApp or email address in the chat, please?
I'm not part of the chat, but I could send an email with my WhatsApp and my email address. So this way you could all have it and you could all be in touch. My
Okay.
pleasure.
Sheila Schwartz has a question on what you're talking about.
How do you arrange for a home test and how much does it cost?
Okay, I could send, there's a link that I could send you, so this way you could fill out all your information by yourself. And it gets set up automatically through our computer system. The cost for a home visit is 600 shekel versus if you come to one of our centers, it's 249 shekel. If someone wants a home test set up and they're having trouble with the link, again, I'm happy to help set it up for them wherever they're located. And again, just be in touch with me once you know exact dates and information.
Now, you said you don't know about any other places where we can get tests, right?
No, she's saying that
No,
have a home test, though, if,
Yeah, but that's kind of expensive. Are there other places around that you can just go in and get a test besides Hatzalah?
I just, look on the Ministry of Health. They have some information. I don't know if it would apply, but they might. They're talking about it.
I know the hospitals do give the PCR tests and they probably also give the serological tests. I have a link that I could send in an email. Actually, I'll send it in an email now that will give you other places that are doing the serological and PCR tests.
wonderful. That'll be very good. I know people who had Hatzalah come and do the test at home. Basically, someone arrived in Israel and the person and Hatzalah came right away to their apartment. And the very good thing was they would be able to be out of quarantine within, it was a day.
Is it
Correct.
600 shekels a piece if you have two people, or is there a group rate?
So the first one is 600 shekel, and the second one, if there's more than one person, we could try to get the second test for a little cheaper.
But you don't know how much.
Whether or not
I
they
would
go.
say usually they take off 100 shekel. I could see if there's something I could do to get it down a little more. Again, once I know someone's coming in, I could go and ask permission to give a better rate for the second test. That is something I could try to do.
Hey, Susan Rosen has a question. Susan?
Yeah, thank you. Do you know whether they're going to be setting up anything in the airport?
As of now, I don't think they will be. It's a little complicated to do it in the airport. Obviously, if they do, I'm happy to update you with any updates that I know about with the serological testing.
And do you know whether Hatzalah could do a home visit up in Carmiel?
Yes, we go all over the country to do them.
Okay.
Ruth, you have a
Okay.
question?
So we get all our paperwork in order. We get permission from the consulate to fly. We take our test. We arrive in Tel Aviv and we get another test. Where?
So either you could get a home test.
We just got off the airplane. I'm on the airplane. Can you get me off the airplane and on the ground?
Once you get off the airplane, in the actual airport, you will be taking a PCR test to make
So
sure
there is
that
a test in the airport,
in the airport, yes, there's a
but there isn't
PCR
a
test.
test in the airport when you want to leave the country,
No,
when you arrive. Okay.
But you
Is
have to
that
take
you
a
have-
test 3 days before you leave.
correct.
So you can't leave the
Still
country without that
confusing.
test?
Right, correct.
So you could end up in Israel the rest of your life.
Not
Yes.
not a bad, place to be.
Is that
The
where you
rest
are,
of your
Sheila?
life.
Is that where you are, Sheila Gersh?
I'm sorry, what?
No, you're in New York.
I'm in New York.
I'm in Israel.
Right.
I think that there are other sites. And I think that it might be worthwhile. I will check this week with Magen David Adam and see. I don't think that those two sites are the only ones. I could be
Can't
wrong.
imagine.
Susan, what Aliza said is that she is willing to send an email with what other possibilities there are. But what she's saying is
That's
if
fine. I mean, that's
yeah,
a lot
if
of work for her.
if you want a home test, you can probably get it almost anywhere because they have an ambulance crew that works all over the country. And the people on the ambulance, on the motorcycles, they go everywhere, not just in major cities. They work everywhere in the country. How many volunteers do you have?
We have 6,000 volunteers.
6,000 volunteers, right? So wherever you are, if you want to have a home test, which is the most efficient and the fastest way to get everything done and not have to go to a hospital or to a center, if you arrange for the home test,
And how would you
they'll come
arrange
they'll
for
come
it?
to you, and it's not like they're going out to have a vacation with your money. The Hatzolah is saving lives all day long.
Yes,
and
they are.
money is going to help them keep working, because that's all.
The young lady was gonna send us her email address in case we needed to get in touch with her, but it hasn't
Correct.
yet.
So are you gonna put it to, you wanna send it to back, all the information back to Sheila? Because you have her
I
email.
could put it in the chat here if you want me to.
Oh, that would be good.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then we'll send it, everyone can take it, or I can send it.
Yeah, and
I'll send it right now.
good. And this is being recorded, so some of the people that could not come today will be able to
Okay.
benefit from the information you've given.
Yes.
Okay. And I will send, I just put my information there, my email address. And I have a link with other places that do give. Sorry, I just put my email address on the chat.
Good.
And I send the link in the email for other places that are around the country of what I have, because I already have a link for it. So I'll send it to the email that I have.
Okay, and I see somebody, Cindy came on. Did you have any questions for Aliza about the tests needed for getting out of quarantine, the serological test?
You're muted, Cindy.
Women's League reads, correct?
Say it again.
Women's League reads?
No.
What is this?
This is, oh, well, this is initiated by Women's League.
Yeah,
But
that's what it is.
It's the Mothers of Olim.
Oh, okay.
Welcome.
What time was it started?
Do you have a child in Israel?
No.
Oh, well, we're a group of mothers who have children in Israel, or people living in it, mothers living in Israel because they're.
No, I got the wrong, actually, I have the wrong ID and pass, I believe.
It's okay, you could stay if you want. We won't chase
Right,
you.
we're a nice
No,
group of
but I
women.
thought it was for Women's League reads.
You're on the
It's
wrong,
not.
you're on
But
the
it's
wrong.
not, but it's okay. I have family in Israel. They live in Arad. Shmuel Kaplan and his whole family.
Okay, so then you can definitely stay.
He's a social worker, and he gets the whole town of Arad together. He keeps it together.
Nice. What's his name?
Shmuel Kaplan. His
Okay,
wife is Simcha,
okay.
and they have older children that are in their 20s. Yeah.
Okay. So do you
Yeah.
have any more questions for Aliza? 'Cause I'm sure
Sorry.
she
Yes,
has.
Beverly has a question.
Beverly,
Thank you. I have a general question, please. You know, when all of this started, there was a whole lot of paperwork that everybody had to fill out. And now all we're talking about is a PCR test or a serology test. Are there other papers that have to be filled out now, or do you just make the reservations for flights and get approvals through an agency?
By default, they have to
You
write a
need-
novelty.
Right,
Go
you
on
need,
your, go on your website for your consulate, and there'll be a huge list of things you need.
Okay.
Except the Israeli consulate is not up to date because they say you still need an apostille. So they don't,
Right.
they
That's not
haven't
true.
changed their website in a long time. But
Well,
there's,
that's why I'm asking.
there's
Yeah.
a novel you have to write, and it's very hard and very nerve-wracking, and you have to go someplace, or you can get it on Dub Lippman's website. There's a list of what you need.
It's basically about proving that you are related to the person in the first degree, unless they've changed that first degree family. So we're parents, we are the first degree. So like I have my child's birth certificate. If you're going with your husband, you'll need your marriage license. I mean, it's things like that.
Okay, thank you.
And it will also probably be changing as of July 1st, seeing tourism is going to be opening in Israel. So if you're planning on coming in the summer, so I'm sure it will be updated closer to then, because you might not need all those paperwork and everything once tourism's open. I don't know for sure though.
How do we get in
Thank you,
touch?
Elisa.
How do we get in touch with Hatzalah? Is there a website that we go to? How do we get in touch to have an appointment?
To have an appointment, I sent my email, and I could also put in my WhatsApp number if that's better for some people, if that's easier.
But how do we, who do we contact to make?
To call her, she's telling you to
Me.
call her. She's it. You call her and she will get the appointment for you.
Okay,
Okay, I'll put in the chat, I'll put my number and you could save it in your WhatsApp.
Lisa, are you saying starting July 1, we won't need all that Michigas?
I'm assuming not, just because they're opening up Israel for tourism, and I can't imagine that there's gonna be much paperwork because they're opening it up to everyone. It's not just gonna be first degree relatives. But again,
But isn't the, I read that the touring is only with tour groups. So the people will still have to do those documents for the tour group. But you're
You'll
saying they're
have-
opening it up to anyone who wants to travel?
I'm sure there'll be some type of documentation that you'll need, but it won't, I'm assuming it won't be as complicated as what it is now. But again, I don't know, but I could keep
whoever
you
would have known that Israel would have made it so hard for us grandmas to go see their babies? I mean, this
Yeah.
whole thing's ridiculous.
Well, I just put in the chat for those who need that information, all the documents you do need to go to Israel right now.
I don't see it.
I didn't get it.
No, I put it in the chat.
I don't
Elisa,
see it in
I
the
don't
chat.
see Elisa's phone number.
I'm putting my phone number
Scroll
in
all the
right
way
now.
down. You have to scroll down.
I'm all the way down.
No,
Elisa, thank you for putting up with us.
it didn't come through.
It's my
Thanks for
pleasure.
letting me visit. No,
Okay.
I just added my number.
everyone be safe and stay well,
Thank you too.
and prayers.
All right. I have to
Sheila
leave now.
Gersh, I don't see that site that you posted.
No,
Can you-
not a site, it's a list.
I don't see the list you posted.
Does anyone see what I posted?
No,
I sent it to everyone.
No
no,
one-
Did you put it in the chat or the email?
The chat.
Well,
No.
it's not there.
Why don't you send it to everybody as an email?
Okay, I'll
after we
send
get
it.
home?
Okay,
Okay, do we want to, if we finish,
that would be helpful if you sent it as an email.
should we thank Elisa for giving us part of her evening? Because
Thank
here
you.
it is almost 9 o'clock at night. I know she worked the whole day at
Thank
Hasoha.
you, Lisa.
She has a
Thank you
tough
so
My
much.
pleasure.
Bye-bye,
I'm here
thank
for
you.
questions that you have either by email or WhatsApp, and hopefully I'll get to see you all.
okay, thank you.
Yes.
Where do you live?
I live in Jerusalem, but so
Thank
anyone that's coming to Jerusalem, I'm happy for you to come and visit.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
If you put her email in the, if you put her email in the email that you send out to the, so that all the people that weren't here today can get that also, that would be helpful.
That's nice, Violet.
I'll send you the list.
Okay, thank you so very much. Thank you.
Pleasure. Take care, everyone.
You
Take
too.
care.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. I have to go.
Bye, nice seeing you.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Cindy.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, Sheila. Thank you for keeping
Oh,
everything going.
And thank you, Diane, for setting this up because I think it was very helpful to.
I think so.
Yeah, thank you, Diane.